way of promoting the biofuel business. I think since 2005, oh no, this is for biodiesel. The mix for biofuel that started, as I said, 10 years ago, it started with about 5% and started increasing every year. And right now, I believe there is a 50% ethanol mix. Biodiesel is starting with 5%, no, 1%, and it's going to go to 5% in 8 years. One of the things that the government did, they created a division of Petrobras, the old company that is Petrobras Biofuels. And that division is basically playing with everything. Whatever you have at home, if you have soap or soup from yesterday, they're going to play with it and see if they can produce ethanol. All the information is online. If you're slightly interested in this, go to Petrobras Biofuels, and they have some really cool stuff there. They're playing with algae, they play with the universities, and etc. In terms of numbers, I think the one that is very interesting is where they're getting most of the energy in Brazil. Most of the energy comes from thermoelectrics, hydroelectrics, and a lot of it comes from the waste from the sugar mills. Basically, the sugar mills produce a lot of bagasse. Bagasse? How do you pronounce it in English? Anybody speaks English here? How do you pronounce it? Bagasso? Whatever. They basically burn it and produce energy with that. So these cogeneration projects are, right now it's 1% of what Brazil produces, but it is expected to be 5% in the next 3 years. This is because of the government giving subsidies to all the sugar mills and on the sugar producers to produce their own energy. This is something that is not happening anywhere else in the world, and that is the reason why Brazil is positioned the way it is in terms of renewable energy. In terms of wind power, this is kind of an interesting thing because according to the Latin American Wind Energy Association, Brazil has potential for 140 gigawatts. That's a lot. But right now they have developed approximately 247 megawatts. They are somehow far from that potential that they can have. But they are expecting that to have 10 gigawatts by 2020. 10 gigawatts would allow you to I don't know, provide enough energy for some of the largest cities in the south of Brazil, but not for the whole country. So what they are expecting to do is to have approximately 30% of the renewable energy portfolio coming from wind by 2020. And from there we go to Chile. Chile is not such a big country, and the reason we have it here, it's not because of the amount of pollution, the amount of CO2 emissions, not about the population they have, but about the resources that they have in the country. Chile is going right now through a change of government, so it's kind of hard to say what's going to happen next year even in terms of renewable energy. They created the Secretary of Energy and Environment, the CNE, in Chile about, I believe it's more than a year ago. They've been very active and they've been promoting renewable energy projects. In Chile right now, that is the wrong title, but we'll get to that part. That has to do with the title. 2.4% of the energy comes from renewable energy sources. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to take advantage that they are in, what do they call it, La Falla? Yeah, but the name, it has a funny name like the Rio de Fuego or something like that.
Tierra del Fuego?
Tierra del Fuego? I don't know, something like that.
You want me to ask?
What they're trying to exploit, what is it called?
I can ask the guy from Chile, he's online.
That's all right. So basically they have a huge potential in terms of solar, they have huge potential in terms of geothermal energy. Right now, the reason it's like they have 1/3 of the world's copper is because we're going to talk about the mining companies, and the mining companies are already moving into geothermal developments. And right now the government is giving a lot of concessions for geothermal plants and for renewable energy based on sun and geothermal and combinations of the two, which is kind of interesting. One of the things that they're doing is they are partnering with the mining companies to build wind power farms. And this is a picture of Canela 2, which is the second wind farm to open in Chile. And it was partially sponsored by one of the mining companies there. And right now they have a huge project in the Atacama Desert, which I think is a very cool project. They're going to use solar and wind energy to bring water into Santiago. And this is a very interesting, this is something that I didn't mention before, but In each one of these big cities in Latin America, if you ask what is the highest bill that the government, the local government pays for, it's energy, every time. It is energy to bring water to the city, it is energy to light the streets. Every time, those are going to be the highest bills that they pay. The Chilean government is trying to figure out a way of bringing water, at least it's not going to be cheaper, but they're going to use renewable energy to bring that. It's very energy intensive, and they want to build a huge, massive solar farm to produce enough energy to bring water to the cities. One of the things that they okay.